get into mobile actually. When can you confirm the timeline for these and when they're actually completed?
Yeah, sure. We announced a lot of mobile applications, and the ones that we're delivering to market earliest, right, are the CRM Service Application, or the Service Application from SAP. The retail execution, which is a CP application, right, for consumer product goods, to do store surveys, in-store validation, checking if promotions are running, looking at the competition is happening. We also, and so those will be delivered this quarter, right? So we'll be delivering those in June, around the same time that we're delivering Gateway, right, the independent version of Gateway from Vishal's team.
On the CRM service one, before you go any further, how does that compete with Syclo's offering?
Well, it is, to describe it, it's a very broad, generic CRM service application or field service application. And when you look at Syclo's service application, it's tied also to their enterprise asset suite capabilities. Yeah? So there's some overlap there. But Syclo also has deep, utilities and oil and gas and industry expertise built into their CRM service solution, whereas ours is more, kind of, I would say, I hate to say, line of business focused at this point in time.
Okay. But just to take that question from a different dimension, availability of development capabilities on this platform, and how is the organization enabling that? In terms of, I think, going to his point earlier about SDK, even putting the calendar in as a challenge, but how is SAP enabling that, and is the primary focus the apps that you produce and not currently letting companies develop on their own?
Okay. Well, I encourage you guys to walk around the campus a little bit, to go talk to Deloitte, talk to CSC, talk to any of our, Accenture, our large SIs. I think you'll find that in working with them, coming up to Sapphire, they out-apped me, right? So if I was just demoing and displaying, 40 to 50 applications in various states, right? Some off-light demos to show where we're going, what we're moving, some, feature-complete applications that are ready to go after they get packaged and for shipment later this quarter. You'll see that they have, hundreds, of apps in play already that they're driving on top of SAP. The growth of developers and of focus around SAP's mobility practice in the last 4 months is almost exponential in these organizations, right? Going from 7 guys focused on SAP mobile apps, right, and now like 100 by Sapphire. Just in my conversations with some examples, right, starting in January to where we are today. So really, we're focused on helping enable them, and it's a keen focus driven by the field and by customers, because when you only have 2 applications on your platform, the only way you can sell and win more business is to be demonstrating applications that our partners, our customers are implementing and taking those to the next customers that have the same challenges and issues, right? So that's a keen focus, and what we've done is we've taken the strength, I think, of SAP, which is really our broad ecosystem, and we're using that to drive out the Sybase tooling and development ecosystem, if you will. So they're leveraging us and our capabilities and capacity in that regard.
And do you visualize a scenario where, like River, an extended applications that can be built on top of SAP, the River project. Similarly, for mobile-specific River project, do you see something like that happening in the future, where the mobility platform is available via the cloud for deployments and stuff like that?
Yeah, we made like 3 announcements around partnerships at Sapphire this week, right, around cloud deployments of Afaria and SUP. We want to attack these 3 classes of developers: the ABAP developers, the mobile developers across, let's say the 4 kind of primary platforms we see in play today, and then the web developers, and start to drive a community and start to drive facilities and infrastructure that allow people to just come in to a hosted environment, right, and start to develop and post and prototype applications. and build that community up. So
And it's available now?
It's not available now. That's one of the projects we're working on. As we also are working on our app store and other things where we can showcase our apps and our partner apps. And my primary goal in the app store to start with is to get a place where customers can come and see what's available or what's coming. Not looking at a monetization play yet, but I'm sure there'll be something around that. Yeah.
On that monetization point, I don't know if you heard Dennis's question at the Q&A session.
Was this yesterday?
Yeah. I don't know
What was his question?
So his and he's written a blog on this since, and essentially the point is, if we have 100,000 SAP customers with roughly 10 million seats, it's kind of roughly the number that SAP has, and we could take a mobile app to every one of those people, and we got $1 a month per app. That would be a business model which would implicitly work and support the R&D and make a load of money. Why doesn't SAP move to a pure subscription-based approach to apps and just ditch any platform pricing?
I don't think we've finalized our pricing initiatives. We're looking into all of those aspects, right? Subscription certainly. There's kind of, I would say, content. So there's a transactional content play like what we do with 365, right? There is a subscription is definitely top of mind as a concept for mobile apps because the mobile world is a continuation, right? You can't just release this app and say the app's out, right? And I'm done. Right? Because next month there's an iPad 4, right? And there's 6 new Google devices, and you need to move that product needs to move forward. There's new features you might want to add, right? As you get feedback from your users, and you want that. You want people coming back. You want it to stay fresh, stay motivated. So subscription's a great model for funding that ongoing development effort.
Right, and I think the projections are that the Apple App Store will outdo SAP's entire revenue by the end of this year, or something like that.
It's quite possible.
It's an enormous.
It's amazing, right?
The details of it don't really matter.
Yeah.
Right? I think the other point on the pricing model is customers are used to buying apps, and they're used to paying a small amount of money for them. It's really ingrained in their brain that.
Not from SAP.
No. But
what do you mean? Are you comparing that if you look at what somebody does on the Apple Store?
Yeah.
Okay,
So I go buy an app, I'm
absolutely. You're paying
I'm
$5.
thinking
Yeah, there you go.
$5.
Yeah.
Or I might, and if
I
I'm
might
thinking,
go 9, but mostly I'm thinking about.
it better be good, right?
Yeah, it better be good.
There's a couple I've paid good money for it, not on the
Not
iPad.
have it.
And they better be good.
Yeah.
But the rest of the time you're paying $1, $2, and you would probably pay that a month if you felt you were getting service and quality.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's the other dynamic that you have when you look at enterprise apps, right? Which is the business is looking at this as an app that makes them more efficient, more effective, more timely decisions are getting made, right? They're saving money. Their top line is increasing, right? So, they're generating more revenue. They're saving money. They're making their employees happier, or not. I'm not sure, right? In all cases, but most of the time, it's easier to get things done on your mobile device. I mean, if I have to go and I know I got to go approve something and I got to go home and I got to open my laptop and plug into VPN and get that done, that's a hassle. If I can just pull out my BlackBerry and approve all those, my life's better, right? So there's some dynamics there that a corporation may make a different buying decision, whereas a person, who's buying it for your utility, right? You're expecting value because you're buying value. Now, that being said, we want to deliver value in our applications, and we want that value to be reflected in the cost to driving and buying and purchasing and using the application.
Nick, if I could, I have a question for you. A question came out of the Premier Customer Network Roundtable on mobility today. The question was, in a situation where somebody wants to do a mashup application that may be one mobile app connecting to a Google service, connecting to a payment service, connecting to SAP, and a variety of different kinds of services from third parties, where would that mashup happen in a Sybase SAP world?
So that mashup will happen in a variety of different layers, right? Primarily it'll happen if you're doing a system-to-systems payments transaction, then the mobile device is sending some information to SUP. SUP is then brokering out a call to SAP, to some other back end, to 365, to process and push out an SMS message or what have you, right? So there can be a mashup at the server level, right? Integrating and aggregating those things. The other mashup that can occur, depending on what type of facilities they have or what applications they have on the devices, you could have a mobile wallet, right? So in other words, you don't have to talk to anybody. You just do the transaction on the device. So mashups will occur on device, and mashups will occur then through SUP brokering out to multiple systems.
So in a web environment, when you're hitting, let's say, 6 different web services to different companies, organizations, where would that be aggregated in an architecture? Would there be a recommended architecture for that?
I don't have one off the top of my mind that recommends that.
Yeah.
What the answer is, because I think it really depends on the application that you have, right?
Okay.
So to do that mashup facility, can I mash it up on the device? Can the user actually configure what they want to mash up? Right?
John, any thoughts on what would be some frameworks or patterns people might use?
I think it's really early days for this thing.
Okay.
I mean, for my money, I think that the focus has been on delivering just purely a platform which we can do things. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. And I think that what you're saying will come to bear over the next year. But
Okay.
until we've got a platform we can build upon, which we're just about at now, we've really got something interesting. And I think with 2.1 in September, we've
Really
got
got
something where we can really deliver fast, instant value apps, and that's the stuff that people want to buy right now because they know how to buy that stuff. And I think,
Yeah.
and I think when we're there, then we can think a little bit bigger.
Got it.
That's mine.
Yeah, and 2.1 is a very important release for us, right? Because it'll combine the capabilities of delivering the gateway content through SUP, securing it, providing reliable messaging, guaranteed delivery, things that gateway doesn't do. So we don't want it to. We don't want to duplicate our efforts as we look at developing these platforms and technologies. And then through a variety of player type or container type capabilities that will render parts or all of that content coming through, and then native library integration tools to allow an iOS developer to go in and just build a really beautiful, fully native application consuming SAP content, and then as well as the HTML5 container there for the web developers to kind of recode or you have to kind of modify your web page, and make it mobile aware, if you will, but you don't have to really understand the intrinsics of the mobile development environment or the device.
No, that's fair. If we segue for a minute onto analytics, I've got this interesting concept, and we've talked about it a little bit, that people want to do online and offline analytics on mid-sized pieces of information. And let's say, for me, I think it's a couple of million records. It's by product group, by country.
Retail outlet, whatever.
Yeah.
A variety of different things.
Say in pharmaceuticals or CPG, those sorts of people. And it's the high-level execs that want to do that. And they want to do it maybe on the golf course or on the plane. They want to do it when they want to do it. But they also want to be able to analyze mid-sized data sets. Are there any plans to do something around that? Because it just feels like an opportunity waiting to happen.
Yeah, we do have the capability to have offline record sets in the business objects mobilization, right? Mm-hmm. And so we have that, and we have we have the real-time connectivity as well, right? So you kind of get both of those worlds. So we have the e-viewer, right? We have the mobile BI, right, which is the connected version. And so you'll see that, and you'll also see that those are being built leveraging the graphics libraries and capabilities of SUP moving forward. So by the end of this year, we look to have all of our analytics capabilities also supported and driven on top of the mobile platform.
So you're writing an OLAP engine on a mobile device. A mini OLAP engine.
Let's say.
Yeah. And I'm not suggesting that you should replicate what's in a data warehousing piece of software.